The sound of rain against stained glass filled the empty chapel. Father Matthias knelt at the altar, his hands clasped, praying fervently. Outside a storm raged, but inside an oppressive stillness hung in the air. His congregation had dwindled to nothing in recent weeks, the people driven away by something dark, something he had tried to deny. A soft breeze fluttered through the chapel, though the windows remained closed. Matthias stiffened. He knew what it was, the presence he had felt watching him ever since that night in the confession booth. That voice, low and tainted, promising salvation in exchange for his soul. "You can't run from us forever, Father," came a voice, thick with malice and something more, a hint of sadness. Matthias rose slowly, turning to face the creature that now stood in the doorway. Its form was human-like, but the wings, once majestic and pure, were now blackened, torn, and twisted. Its eyes, once bright with the light of heaven, now glowed with the fire of hell. The Archangel who had once been revered now stood as a twisted relic of its former glory. "You are not welcome here, demon," Matthias whispered, though his words trembled. The creature stepped forward, its voice both angelic and monstrous. "I am not a demon, Father, not yet." "What are you?" Matthias asked, backing away, feeling the weight of centuries-old faith slipping through his fingers. The creature's mouth twisted into a sad smile. "I was once among the favored, an archangel of the highest order, but I was forgotten, cast aside when heaven and hell divided, left to wander the space between, neither divine nor damned, until hell called me back." The Archangel stretched its charred wings wide, the tips brushing the stone walls, leaving behind scorch marks. "Hell has plans for you, Father. You prayed for protection, but heaven has turned its gaze. Your flock has been abandoned, and so have you." Matthias shook his head, retreating behind the altar. "No, my faith will protect me. A dark laugh interrupted him. "Faith? What good is faith when the angels themselves are forgotten? You've seen it, haven't you? The people no longer believe. That's how we thrive, on lost faith and broken promises." The storm outside grew fiercer, the chapel rattling under the pressure. The Archangel took another step forward. "But I can offer you something heaven cannot. I can save you from their indifference. All it takes is a single word, one promise, and you will not be abandoned. You will never be alone." Matthias felt the cold tendrils of despair clutch at his heart. His faith, once unshakable, now trembled under the weight of the forgotten angel's words. Could it be true? Could heaven have forsaken them? The Archangel knelt before him, extending a hand. "Join me, and I will grant you power, enough to protect your flock, enough to save your soul from the abyss. You need only swear fealty to the forgotten." Matthias hesitated, the weight of centuries pressing on his soul. His hand shook as it hovered over the angel's outstretched palm. Just one word, one promise. But then a single tear rolled down his cheek. "No," he whispered. The angel's eyes darkened, its face twisted into a mask of rage. "Then you will be forgotten too, just like me." With a single swipe of its hand, the chapel erupted in flames. The last thing Father Matthias saw was the Archangel's charred wings as they enveloped him in darkness, dragging him into the abyss. The storm outside quieted, and the chapel stood silent, forgotten by all, except hell.